check out the stream. Get some people out there following, and we'll drive those numbers up. All right, so let's get started. I think we will go Hunter.
Let the hunt
I will say Hunter. I haven't quite got the hang of Hunter yet. There's a lot of card interaction between beasts and the between beasts and secrets and multiple spell things, and so Hunter's probably not the class I feel the most comfortable with, but that's a good reason to play it. All right, so let's start picking. Misdirection is an excellent Hunter secret card. It can be a game changer, no doubt about it. Flare is pretty situational if you're not playing against a rogue. The stealth doesn't matter so much. Destroy all enemy secrets, not bad. And you also draw a card. So worst case scenario with Flare, it replaces itself. Abomination, solid minion. We talked about it before. Deal 2 damage to all characters on death rattle. It's also a taunt. I don't have a strong feeling here. I would say Misdirection or Flare. But Flare is solid. Worst case scenario, you're going to draw a card. Misdirection is good. I mean, there's not much to say about it, other than it's a good card. So, what do you guys think? Try to move through this a little quickly. I know we don't have only 30 people in the stream, so shouldn't have too much time to respond. All right. Well, so far you guys are evenly split, so we're just gonna go. Let's go with Misdirection here. All right, Arcane Shot, 1 for 2 damage, solid card. Murloc Raider, we're not really doing a Murloc deck, although I will say as a 1 for 2/1, he's a solid card regardless. Frostwolf Warlord, we've seen in pretty much all the decks we've played. Solid minion. He comes in at the mid game, and you're going to have 2 or 3 minions on the field. If you have a lot of board control, he can come out as an 8/8 or a 9/9 even. And yeah, so he's solid. I do think Arcane Shot is just so versatile. It's the way to go here. And I do generally, if for no other reason to learn the game a bit, I do want to take more of the Hunter-specific cards, just because that's the best way to learn sort of the Hunter mechanics. All right, so we have Hunter's Mark, Snipe, and Draggling Mechanic. Hunter's Mark and Snipe are both excellent. Draggling Mechanic, these are actually all 3 good cards. Hunter's Mark, it's 0, so it doesn't cost you anything. You basically can clear a minion at will. Snipe is awesome, though. 4 damage when a minion comes out for 2. You play that in the mid-game, and you can clear a minion, usually guaranteed, if not. So I think Snipe is the way to go. So far we've taken 3 spells. We're going to have to start looking at minions. Animal Companion, we should fist pump take this all day long. The random beast companions it can summon are really good, although I've never actually had the card or used it, but they are very good. So I would say Animal Companion here. It's another spell, but we're gonna get a minion out of it, so it basically counts as a minion. So let's go Animal Companion. Last time we did a Hunter deck, we kind of went beast. Try to go a little beast-centric. I don't think we actually got enough beast for that synergy to work. So, question whether we want to do that again. Omni Berserker is good on turn 1 with coin. You're right about that. Gurabashi Berserker, we've seen a few times. Excellent card. Dark Scale Healer is a good card as well. Unleash the Hounds is excellent. Again, it's a beast-centric card. I think in constructed decks it's really good. I'd be careful about taking it in the arena because I think it's too situational. Gurabashi Berserker is a solid card. I don't think you can go wrong with it, honestly. Probably one of the better 5-drops in the game. Yeah, I'm starting not to get sold on Unleash the Hounds as well. I do think it's not as good as people say. A Murloc Tidecaller, kind of funny we're seeing another Murloc now. Tundra Rhino, your beasts have charge. Again, good beast synergy card if we could get more beasts. Arcane Shot, we talked about it before. It's a solid card, 1 for 2 damage, very versatile. Yeah, I would go Rhino or Arcane Shot. Rhino is interesting. It's a 2/5 for 5, so it's a little maybe right at the stat curve, but it's a little weak. If we don't have other beasts, it doesn't do us any good. Although we will have Animal Companion at least, which will be a beast. I think this time around, let's not focus on doing any beast deck, and I say that, and of course we're going to get like 1,000 beasts and all the awesome beast synergy cards, but we'll take cards for what they are, not necessarily because they're a beast or not. Of course, now we have another beast card. So Razorfin Hunter is a solid 3-drop. It summons a 1/1 boar, so you get 2 minions for the price of 1. Snipe, we've talked about. You might hear my cat meowing. She's apparently going to join us here in a second. Snipe is a solid card. Multi-shot, again, is a solid card. The thing about multi-shot is you can't use it unless you have 2 enemy minions to attack. You can't use it with just 1 enemy minion out there. But it is great clear. You're talking about 4 for 6 damage. It's really good. I think multi-shot's the way to go, although we're going to definitely have to start taking minions before too long, because we're now up to pretty much all, except for 1. Well, I guess we have 2 minions. That's not too bad. Argent Squire, 1/1 for 1 with Divine Shield. That's pretty good. These are all decent cards. Gnomish Inventor gives us some draw power in the mid game, which is nice to have. Goldshire Footman gives us early taunt. I tend not to favor the Goldshire Footman, honestly. He did save us in a couple games from some big turn 1 damage when somebody, they played like a Wind Fury Harpy or something, but sorry, my cat's moving all my papers around. Here, let's see if you can see her down there. Of course, now I can't get my webcam back where I want it. You guys are gonna get dizzy for a second. All right, there we go. So how does that look? Is that, let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good on the webcam. All right, so Argent Squire, Gnomish Inventor, Goldshire Footman. I actually am favoring the Inventor here. Inventor for draw power. So that's what I think we do. Argent Squire is solid. Yeah, so I'm going to go Gnomish Inventor. We need some draw power, honestly. Acidic Swamp Ooze is very situational, but can be a solid card. At 3/2 for 2, it's above the stat curve, so even if you don't use its Battle Cry, it's still a good buy. Tracking is solid. It is a really good draw power card. It's 1 for 1, but you get to pick the card that you want. Multi-shot, we've already talked about. I'm back and forth between tracking and multi-shot, honestly. You guys really want multi-shot? I think if I was picking this just on my own, I might go tracking. I don't think you can underestimate draw power in this game, but I'm going to go multi-shot since that's what you guys want. Alright, so we have some epic cards. Every time I say that we're not going to go a Murloc deck, we get Murloc War Leader, which is probably the Murloc card you need the most to make a Murloc deck really move. Bestial Wrath, give a beast +2 attack and immune this turn. Not so sure about that. Immune is nice. I mean, we can basically trade for free, but we have to have a beast to use it. Right now, the only beast we have is Animal Companion, although we could definitely pull more. Sea Giant, I think, is a great card. Once you get overwhelmed, or even in mid-game when there's a lot of beasts on the field, he can get very cheap to cast. So I think Sea Giant is the way to go. Giants are still pretty overpowered. They nerfed Giants recently. They actually all used to be 10-10 instead of 8-8. And you can imagine how overpowered they were at 10-10 instead of 8-8. It's pretty crazy. So we're back to Hunter's Mark and Acidic Swamp Ooze again, as well as a Frost Elemental. Frost Elemental has a good battle cry. Hunter's Mark is solid. Acidic Swamp Ooze is solid. I think I would go Hunter's Mark here. Hunter's Mark or Frost. This is not a good set of cards. Yeah, we've had no beasts, but we're only 10 cards in. Now that we're not going for beast synergy, we'll probably get our last 10 cards will be beasts. We don't have anything too high in the stat curve yet. We could go with Frost Elemental. I think we'll get better big minions later, so I'm going to go Hunter's Mark here. Hunter's Mark is just very versatile. There's not much you can say about that. All right, Timberwolf, we now have a beast. It buffs other beasts, so not terrible. It's a 1 for 1/1, so it's around the stat curve. Cult Master is good draw power. Archmage actually is not terrible. It's a 6/4/7, which means that you can trade with it pretty well with 7 health and 4 attack. The spell power actually does help hunters. For example, multi-shot will be 4 damage instead of 3. So it actually does, and we do have lots of spells. Snipe, I don't know if spell power increases Snipe. I think the answer is yes. I don't see why it wouldn't, but I've never seen that interaction. So let's go Archmage here. Gives us a solid high-end minion. Okay, so now, so this is an interesting choice. We don't have any taunt yet. Fin Creeper is a good taunt minion, second or third best taunt minion in the game. Lord of the Arena is a solid taunt minion, a little more offensive. I tend to prefer my taunt minions to be a little more defensive and have higher health and lower attack. Dalaran Mage, you know, it's a good solid spell power minion. I think he's the cheapest or second cheapest. I think Geomancer, Cobalt Geomancer is the second cheapest. So we could go with the spell power theme a bit more with Mage, but I'm thinking Fin Creeper here. Seems like you guys are agreeing with that. Alright, yeah, I agree with Fin Creeper. I think Fin Creeper probably is the third best taunt minion in the game, behind Sinjin and Sunwalker, I would say. Shield Bearer's not bad. Thanks, Unknown something. Unknown One, I appreciate the compliment. Tell your friends, get more folks in here. Let's see, Dread Corsair. We may have a weapon, but we don't have one yet. Grimscale Oracle would have been good for our Murloc deck. Freezing Trap, when an enemy minion attacks, return its owner hand, costs 2 more. I think Freezing Trap's the way to go. Yeah, we are getting some weak pulls, I have to admit. Not too happy so far with what we're seeing. Okay, Scavenging Hyena is a solid beast. Whenever a beast dies, it gains +2/+1. It's a 2/2 for 2, so it's on the stat curve regardless. Questing Adventurer is actually pretty good. I've never been too sold on Questing Adventurer, but it does have kind of a soft taunt. It is a minion that will get attention, so it might as well be a taunt minion. Stone Tusk Boar, 1/1 for 1 with charge. Solid minion, nothing too bad to say about it. I would probably, yeah, Hyena or Adventurer. You know, we still have 15 cards to go. Is the Fin Creeper a beast? No, it's not. The Sea Giant is not a beast either. Yeah, I think we will go Questing Adventurer. I don't know that I've actually put a Questing Adventurer in any deck that I've used so far, so it'll be interesting to see. Okay, Eaglehorn Bow. Given how many secrets we have already, I think Eaglehorn is definitely the way to go. Light Warden. No, we don't have heals. Mind Control Tech is so situational. This isn't even a discussion. Eaglehorn Bow. All right, Houndmaster. Battle Cry. Give a friendly beast +2/+2 and taunt. So we are getting lots of the beast synergy cards. Probably should have just taken them regardless in the beginning, knowing that we're likely to get more. Timberwolf is a beast synergy card. Explosive Trap. So it looks like we're going to go with a secret-heavy deck. I don't think that's necessarily bad. It just gets very situational because you never know exactly how the traps are going to trigger, honestly. All right, so let's take a second here. We're halfway through. Let's look at our mana curve. We're doing pretty decent. We probably need more in the higher end, honestly. I don't know that Corehound, although it is a beast, funny, is really the mob that we want, the minion we want to take for the high end. We don't have much in the way of draw power, so I'm really thinking Novice Engineer here. Yeah, we do need beasts. Yeah, let's go Novice Engineer. Yeah, we'll try something different. Look, we did beasts before, and we saw it worked out. All right, so tracking, top 3 cards of your deck, pull another one. We've talked about that before. Solid card, we don't have any yet. Mad Bomber, we probably need to get more minions, honestly, at this point. Mad Bomber is okay, but he's random. Brewmaster is solid. He's a 5/4 for 4. We can bump someone back into our hand, so we could bump our Questing Adventurer back if he gets low on health. We can bump our Fin Creeper and replay him. Our Berserker we can bump if he gets low. So I definitely like the Brewmaster here. I say bump, it should be bounce. Most people say bounce. I think tracking or Brewmaster is the way to go. I'm going to take the Brewmaster. I have a feeling we might get tracking again since it's a Hunter card sometime in the next 11 cards. Young Priestess. Young Priestess is not bad, actually. You're guaranteed to give another minion +1 health because it's at the end of your turn unless you attack with her with a charge or something. While Pyromancer gives you some clear, which is not bad, but we do have, what, 2 multi-shots already, as well as a bunch of traps and snipes and everything else. Demolisher kind of gives you the same thing as Young Priestess, but they get a turn to clear him. I actually think Demolisher. We need more in the 3 mana slot. Sorry, my cat's taken off with a piece of paper now and is playing with it. I think Demolisher. Demolisher, yeah, exactly. It's a taunt. I agree. I think it's a taunt. Essentially a taunt. All right, so let's see. Unleash the Hounds. We've talked about that. Not really good for this deck at this point. I think Amani Berserker is the only way to go here right now. A taunt with wheels. I like that description. I might have to, I'm gonna have to take off with that. I'm gonna have to run away with it. No pun intended. Alright, so I just grabbed the middle one. I remember what it was, but, Amani Berserker, that's what it was. Explosive Trap, we've already got one. We can keep going with, the Trap Secret theme, which is not bad. Questing Adventurer, we already have one. A second one wouldn't be horrible. Bloodsail Raider, we do have one weapon now, so this would be a 5-3. But I don't know that that's too situational. We do need more here. I'm a little leery of taking another explosive trap. We have so many secrets already, so I think Questing Adventure is the way to go. All right, two excellent cards to choose from. I'm not looking at the Bloodsail Raider for the reasons we just talked about. Spellbreaker, we don't have any silence yet. Spellbreaker is good for that. Ironforge Rifleman, I'm a huge fan of. I would normally take him over most minions because you pretty much guarantee a 2-for-1 trade. But we don't have any silence yet, and our stat curve is a little heavy on the low end, so I think Spellbreaker is the way to go. Yeah, I think Spellbreaker. The Rifleman is good. They're both solid cards. I think Spellbreaker is the way to go. Alright, so we got another Brewmaster possibility. So let's see. We have some interesting choices here. So Stormwind Knight, I'm becoming a bigger fan of. With the charge and 2-5, he pretty much is guaranteed to kill a low health minion while still staying alive. Ogre Magi gives us some nice spell power synergy. As a 4/4 for 4, he comes in at a good point in the game for that. Ancient Brewmaster, we can bounce. We already have one Brewmaster. I think I'd actually rather take an Ogre Magi here. And if we get that spell power at the right time, it can really turn the game with our traps and everything else. So, let's see. You know, I think Shield Bearer. We don't have any taunt. Shield Bearer is a solid early taunt. Not even really going to talk about it. We're going to go Shield Bearer. Let's see. So, Dread Corsair costs 1 less per attack of your weapon. He could actually be pretty cheap if we got Longbow, but no. Corehound, you know, we don't have any big in-game minions yet, so we probably need that. And Silverback Patriarch is really bad for taunt. I think he is the worst taunt minion in the game, honestly, for his costs. So, I think he may be the worst card in the game, with maybe the exception of whatever that Watcher card is that can never attack. So we're gonna go Corehound. You know, we actually have gotten some pretty weak cards, honestly. So we'll see how this deck goes. Bloodfin Raptor would have been great to get him in the beginning. He's still a solid card. He's above the stat curve. He's a beast, but we can't really do anymore. This is the first arena of the night, Mind Games. So I know you guys you're saying or at least one of you are saying Raptor. Yeah, Void Terror is not bad. Raptor is okay. Wisp, I think, is not so good. Oasis Snapjaw, I'll tell you. I have always said I'm not a big fan of Snapjaw, but someone pointed out that it's really good for trading, being a 2/7 with low minions, and it comes in on turn 4, so you pretty much guarantee a 2-for-1 if there's low health minions around. So I have to say I'm becoming a bigger fan of the Snapjaw. Gives us a little bit bigger body on the board. Alright, so what do we have? We could take another multi-shot or another freezing trap. We can also take a Jungle Panther. Jungle Panther is a stealth. It's pretty much a 4-attack bomb to go off at some point. It's a beast, you know. Had we gone our beast deck, that Panther would have been great because we could have really buffed him up with our other beast cards and then unleashed him. But we don't have that synergy at this point. So, you know, I would say Panther wouldn't be bad. He drops into a 3-slot. Multi-shot would be our third multi-shot. Also not bad. Problem is you need 2 minions on the board to use it. Freezing Trap. I think Freezing Trap is pretty good. If you take the Panther, you'll betray your kitty. What do you guys think between Multi-Shot and Freezing Trap? That's what I tend to think between those two. Yeah, we're going to have a tough end game. I hope we get some big mana cards here at the end. I think Freezing Trap wouldn't be bad. You know, because we don't have big minions, I think we need to go multi-shot here to try to get more board clear. Alright, so, interesting choice here. Knife Juggler would be good normally, but most of our low mana cost items are not minions. So I don't know that we're going to get a lot of procs on the Knife Juggler. Abomination is good. It gives us Taunt. It's a 5-drop. Death Rattle can be situational. I think the second Eagle Horn Bow, because of the secret, we're so secret heavy, we might be able to really keep using this thing a lot. If we can clear his taunt, that can be a lot of damage. So let's try that and see how it goes. I'm not convinced how well this deck is going to work, but I think we have an idea. We'll see if the idea works with the cards we have. Sunwalker all day long. Second best taunt minion in the game. It's a 6-drop, which is where we really need some help at this point. Yeah, Sunwalker. Alright, so that's our deck. Again, our mana curve, you know, let's look at this. We're like really high and then nothing. So, you know, I think here it's going to be interesting. If we leverage our traps really well, I think we'll have a decent chance. If we don't and we get to the end game, life could get scary. So